Have you ever felt like the people who should love and protect you the most are the ones who cause you the most pain? Have you ever wondered why the very family members you trust and rely on might betray you when you need them the most? It's a painful thought, isn't it? But what if this betrayal isn't just a random act of cruelty, but a pattern that runs deep in your family? What if you are part of a cycle of hurt and pain that has been passed down through generations, and now it's your turn to face it? You're struggling, trying to make sense of your life, and instead of support, you find that your family, the people who are supposed to be your safety net, have turned their backs on you. They may even be working against you, selling you out for their own gain. This betrayal cuts deep, leaving scars that are hard to heal. It makes you question everything: your worth, your place in the world, and the true meaning of family. Why would your family do this? Is it because they are selfish, jealous, or afraid? Or is it something even deeper, something rooted in the history of your family, something that has been handed down from generation to generation, like a curse that you never asked for, but now must face? These are tough questions, and they might leave you feeling alone and confused, but you're not alone. Many chosen ones, people like you who are on a unique spiritual journey, have faced the same challenges. They have had to confront the painful reality that their family, the very people who should be their biggest supporters, are actually holding them back. In this video, we'll dive into the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, who believed in the power of introspection and self-reliance. We'll explore how distancing yourself from toxic family dynamics, though difficult, can lead to personal growth, spiritual alignment, and ultimately a stronger, more peaceful you. We'll talk about breaking generational curses, navigating narcissistic relationships, and the empowerment that comes from embracing your spiritual journey, even when it means walking away from those who were supposed to love you. So if you've ever felt like your family has sold you out, or if you're struggling to find your place in a world where you feel misunderstood and betrayed, you're in the right place. Let's explore these tough questions together and find the strength to rise above the pain. Have you ever felt like someone in your family is always trying to control you or make everything about themselves? Maybe they never seem to care about your feelings, and no matter what you do, it's never enough for them. If this sounds familiar, you might be dealing with a narcissistic family member. This can be incredibly draining, especially when it comes from someone who is supposed to love and support you. Narcissism is a personality trait where a person is excessively self-centered. Narcissists often lack empathy, meaning they struggle to understand or care about other people's feelings. They may manipulate others to get what they want and often believe they are better than everyone else. When this behavior comes from a family member, it can be confusing and painful, leaving you feeling powerless and trapped. Living with a narcissistic family member can be like walking on eggshells. You may constantly feel on edge, trying to avoid saying or doing anything that could set them off. They might criticize you, belittle your achievements, or make you feel guilty for things that aren't your fault. Over time, this can damage your self-esteem and make you doubt your own worth. It's like being caught in a web where the more you struggle to please them, the more trapped you become. But here's the real question. Is it possible to break free from this cycle? And what happens when you decide to step back and prioritize your well-being over their demands? The first step to dealing with a narcissistic family member is recognizing their behavior for what it is. Understand that their need to control or belittle you is not your fault. It's a reflection of their own insecurities. Once you see this, you can start setting boundaries. This means deciding what behavior you will and won't tolerate and sticking to it. For example, if they try to manipulate you into feeling guilty, calmly but firmly refuse to play along. If they constantly criticize you, limit the time you spend with them or end conversations when they become toxic. Setting boundaries is not about being mean or unkind. It's about protecting your mental and emotional health. Sometimes the best way to deal with a narcissistic family member is to create distance. This doesn't necessarily mean cutting them out of your life completely, though in some cases that might be necessary. It could simply mean spending less time with them or not sharing personal details that they could use against you. Creating distance gives you the space to heal and focus on your own growth. Hey, Dana, It allows you to see the situation more clearly and regain control of your life. Remember, you are not responsible for fixing them or making them happy. Your main responsibility is to take care of yourself. As you create this distance, you might find yourself spending more time alone. While this can be lonely at first, it's also an opportunity for growth. Use this time to reflect on your own needs and desires, free from the influence of the narcissist. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, taught that true peace comes from within, and this is your chance to discover that peace for yourself. By setting boundaries and creating distance, you empower yourself to break free from the toxic cycle of narcissism. This is a difficult journey, but it's also one that can lead to greater strength, clarity, and inner peace. Remember, you deserve to be treated with respect and kindness, and it's okay to walk away from those who cannot offer that. Breaking generational curses is a profound and challenging journey, especially for chosen ones who find themselves trapped in toxic family dynamics. These curses aren't literal spells, but rather deeply ingrained patterns of behavior, attitudes, and beliefs passed down through generations. They can manifest as cycles of abuse, addiction, poverty, or negative thinking that seem impossible to escape. For many, these patterns are so deeply embedded in the family's way of life that they go unnoticed, accepted as just the way things are. But chosen ones, with their heightened awareness and spiritual insight, often feel the weight of these curses more acutely. They recognize the destructive nature of these patterns and feel a strong, almost irresistible call to break free from them. This process of breaking generational curses begins with awareness. You must first see the patterns for what they are and understand how they have affected your family and, ultimately, you. This isn't easy. It requires looking honestly at painful truths and confronting deeply rooted issues. But awareness alone isn't enough. You must also make the conscious decision to change, to reject the old ways and forge a new path. This might mean distancing yourself from family members who are still caught in these destructive cycles or refusing to engage in the behaviors that perpetuate the curse. Breaking these curses often feels like swimming against a strong current. There may be resistance from family members who don't understand your desire for change or who feel threatened by your efforts to break free. You might also struggle with feelings of guilt or fear, worried that by stepping away from your family's ways, you are abandoning them. But remember, breaking a generational curse is an act of courage and love, both for yourself and for future generations. By choosing to end these harmful patterns, you are not only freeing yourself, but also preventing these curses from being passed down to those who come after you. The journey of breaking generational curses is one of the most difficult a chosen one can undertake, but it is also one of the most rewarding. It leads to a profound sense of liberation and empowerment, allowing you to create a life that is truly your own, free from the shadows of the past. As you break these chains, you open the door to a new legacy, one of healing, growth, and positive transformation. Have you ever felt like you can't depend on anyone but yourself? That no matter how much you hope for support or understanding from others, it just isn't there? This feeling can be isolating, but it can also be the beginning of a powerful journey towards self-reliance and spiritual growth. When your family or those closest to you fail to support you, it can force you to dig deep within yourself, to find strength and wisdom you didn't know you had. Self-reliance isn't about shutting people out or refusing help when it's genuinely offered. Instead, it's about recognizing that your true source of strength comes from within. When you rely on others too much, especially on family members who may not have your best interests at heart, you give away your power. You become dependent on their approval, their validation, and their guidance, even when it leads you down the wrong path. But when you start to trust yourself, to listen to your own inner voice, you reclaim that power. For chosen ones, self-reliance is even more critical. Your journey is unique, filled with challenges that others may not understand. You might feel a strong pull toward a spiritual path that differs from the norm, and this can be difficult for those around you to accept. If you rely on others to validate your choices or guide your spiritual journey, you might find yourself stuck, unable to move forward. But when you develop self-reliance, you become your own guide. You learn to trust your intuition, to make decisions that align with your true purpose. Even they go against the expectations of others. Building self-reliance begins with small steps. Start by making decisions on your own, even if they're about minor things. As you become more comfortable with this, you can tackle bigger decisions with confidence. It's also important to spend time alone, reflecting on your thoughts, feelings, and goals without outside influence. This solitude can help you connect with your inner self and strengthen your sense of direction. What if relying on yourself is the key to unlocking your full potential? What if, by trusting your inner guidance, you can achieve things you never thought possible? This is the power of self-reliance. It opens doors to growth and possibilities that are uniquely yours. Self-reliance is not just about practical decision-making, it's deeply spiritual. When you trust yourself, you're also trusting the divine within you, the part of you that is connected to a higher power or greater wisdom. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, often spoke about the importance of looking inward for strength and guidance. By relying on yourself, you align more closely with this inner divinity, which leads to greater spiritual growth and a deeper connection to your purpose. In the end, self-reliance leads to empowerment. When you stop waiting for others to support you or guide your path, you take full responsibility for your life. This can be scary at first, but it's also incredibly freeing. You realize that you have everything you need within you to succeed, to grow, and to fulfill your purpose. And as you become more self-reliant, you inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of strength and empowerment that extends far beyond yourself. Self-reliance is the cornerstone of spiritual growth for chosen ones. It's the foundation upon which you build your life, your purpose, and your connection to the divine. By embracing self-reliance, you unlock the true power that lies within you, enabling you to walk your path with confidence, clarity, and strength. Family betrayal is one of the most heartbreaking experiences anyone can face. When the people who are supposed to be your closest allies turn against you, it leaves a wound that's hard to heal. The trust you once had in them is shattered, and you're left questioning everything: your self-worth, your choices, and even your own identity. The emotional toll of this kind of betrayal can be devastating, often leading to feelings of deep sadness, anger, and confusion. What if this betrayal, as painful as it is actually a turning point in your life? What if it's pushing you toward a path of greater self-awareness and personal growth? The first reaction to family betrayal is usually shock. It's hard to believe that the people you've loved and relied on could hurt you so deeply. This shock quickly turns into pain, a kind of pain that's different from other types of hurt because it's so personal. You may feel like you've lost a part of yourself, as if a piece of your heart has been ripped out. The betrayal can dominate your thoughts, making it hard to focus on anything else. As you process the betrayal, you might find yourself grappling with a mix of emotions. On one hand, there's anger at the betrayal itself, at the people who hurt you, and at the situation that allowed it to happen. On the other hand, there's sadness, a deep sorrow for the loss of trust, the damage to your relationship, and the change in how you see your family. These emotions can be overwhelming, leaving you feeling stuck in a cycle of hurt and resentment. Family betrayal can also take a serious toll on your self-esteem. You might start to wonder if you did something to deserve this treatment, or if there's something wrong with you that caused them to betray you. This kind of self-doubt is damaging because it eats away at your confidence and makes it harder to move forward. It's important to remember that their betrayal is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of their own issues and choices. Healing from family betrayal is a long and difficult journey, but it's possible. It starts with acknowledging the pain and allowing yourself to feel it. You don't have to pretend that everything is okay or that the betrayal didn't hurt. Once you've faced the pain, the next step is to begin the process of letting go. This doesn't mean forgetting what happened or excusing the behavior. It means freeing yourself from the emotional grip the betrayal has on you. It's about reclaiming your power and choosing not to let the betrayal define your life. What if, through the pain of betrayal, you find a strength you never knew you had? What if this experience, as painful as it is the catalyst for your personal transformation? The truth is, betrayal can be a powerful motivator for change. It can push you to set stronger boundaries, to be more selective about who you trust, and to prioritize your own well-being. It can also lead you to discover a deeper sense of self-reliance and resilience. As you heal, You'll start to rebuild your life, often in ways you hadn't imagined before. You might develop new relationships, find new passions, or rediscover old ones. The betrayal, while painful, can be the beginning of a new chapter, a chapter where you are stronger, wiser, and more in tune with what you truly need and deserve in life. Family betrayal is a deep wound, but it doesn't have to be the end of your story. By facing the pain, allowing yourself to heal, and finding strength through the experience, you can emerge from the betrayal stronger and more resilient than ever before. This journey is tough, but it's also an opportunity to grow and create a life that is truly yours, free from the shadows of the past. After experiencing family betrayal, many chosen ones find themselves alone, grappling with the pain of being let down by those they trusted most. Solitude can feel like a heavy burden, especially when it's forced upon you by circumstances beyond your control. But what if this solitude isn't a punishment, but a gift? What if, in this quiet space, you can discover a deeper sense of self and find the clarity you need to move forward? The first thing you might feel when you're betrayed by your family is an overwhelming sense of loneliness. It's natural to miss the connection you once had, even if that connection was flawed. The absence of those familiar voices, even if they were critical or unsupportive, leaves a void that can be hard to fill. You might find yourself craving the comfort of companionship, even if that companionship came with its own set of problems. However, as time goes on, you may begin to see solitude in a different light. Instead of something to be feared, solitude can become a space of peace and reflection. Without the noise of others' opinions and expectations, you're free to listen to your own thoughts, to connect with your true self. In this quiet, you can start to untangle the confusion that family betrayal often leaves behind. You can sort through your emotions, understand them, and begin to heal. Solitude gives you the opportunity to engage in deep self-reflection. This is where the real work of personal growth begins. You can look honestly at your life, your choices, and the patterns that have brought you to this point. What have you learned from your experiences? What do you want to change moving forward? These are questions that can only be answered in the stillness of solitude, away from the distractions of the outside world. What if solitude is the key to unlocking your inner strength? When you're alone, you're forced to rely on yourself in ways you never have before. There's no one to lean on, no one to tell you what to do. This can be terrifying, but it's also incredibly empowering. In solitude, you discover that you are stronger than you thought. You learn to trust your own judgment, to make decisions that are right for you without the influence of others. Rather than seeing solitude as something to endure, you can begin to see it as a tool for growth. Use this time to develop new skills, explore new interests, or dive deeper into your spiritual practices. Solitude can be a fertile ground for creativity and innovation, allowing you to explore parts of yourself that you might have neglected while trying to meet the demands of others. In solitude, you also have the chance to reconnect with your inner self, the part of you that is often overshadowed by the chaos of daily life and the expectations of others. This inner self is where your true power lies. It's where you find your deepest passions, your most authentic desires, and your strongest convictions. By reconnecting with this part of yourself, you can emerge from solitude with a clearer sense of purpose and direction. Finally, solitude can prepare you for future relationships. By spending time alone, you learn what you truly want and need from others. You develop a stronger sense of self, which makes it easier to set boundaries and to seek out relationships that are healthy and supportive. When you're comfortable in your own company, you're less likely to settle for less than you deserve in your connections with others. Solitude, especially after a betrayal, can be a powerful force for personal growth. It's a time to heal, to reflect, and to rediscover who you are at your core. By embracing solitude, you turn what might seem like a lonely experience into a transformative journey, one that leaves you stronger, wiser, and more in tune with your true self. After experiencing family betrayal, redefining your relationships is a crucial step in your healing journey. When those closest to you let you down, it can cause you to rethink how you connect with others and what you need from your relationships. It's not just about deciding who to keep in your life, but also about reshaping your understanding of what healthy and supportive relationships look like. The betrayal you've experienced often highlights the need to reassess and set new boundaries. You may have been too open or too forgiving in the past, which could have contributed to the betrayal. This is a chance to redefine your boundaries, ensuring that you protect yourself from future hurt. Boundaries aren't just about keeping people out. They're about creating a space where you can thrive and feel secure. By setting clear limits, you teach others how to treat you and demonstrate that you value yourself and your well-being. Trust is a critical element in any relationship, and betrayal can make it hard to trust again. However, redefining your relationships doesn't mean you have to shut yourself off completely. It's about understanding what trust means to you now and deciding how to rebuild it, if at all, with others. Forgiveness is a complex part of this process. It's important to distinguish between forgiving others and forgetting their actions. Forgiveness can be a way to release the hold that betrayal has on you, but it doesn't mean you have to continue relationships that are harmful or untrustworthy. With new boundaries and a clearer understanding of trust, you can start building relationships that are supportive and enriching. This might involve seeking out new connections that align with your values and goals. Look for relationships that offer mutual respect, understanding, and encouragement. Building a supportive network can help you feel less isolated and more connected to others who appreciate and uplift you. Every relationship, even the painful ones, offers valuable lessons. Reflect on what you've learned from the betrayal and how it has shaped your views on relationships. This reflection can help you make more informed decisions about who you allow into your life and how you interact with them. Understanding the dynamics of past relationships can also guide you in avoiding similar pitfalls in the future. Redefining your relationships often involves strengthening your sense of self-worth. After being betrayed, it's easy to question your value or to feel unworthy of healthy relationships. Rebuilding your self-esteem is crucial. Remind yourself of your strengths, your accomplishments, and the positive qualities that make you deserving of respect and love. When you have a strong sense of self-worth, you are better equipped to attract and maintain relationships that reflect that value. Finally, use this opportunity to create new relationship patterns. This means adopting healthier communication styles, establishing more balanced dynamics, and fostering relationships that are mutually beneficial. By being proactive in shaping your relationships, you can build a support system that nurtures your growth and aligns with your values. What if redefining your relationships is the key to unlocking a future filled with genuine connection and fulfillment? By reassessing boundaries, evaluating trust, and building supportive connections, you can transform your relationships from sources of pain into sources of strength. This process allows you to create a life where your relationships enhance your well-being and contribute to your personal and spiritual growth. Redefining your relationships after a betrayal is not just about reacting to past hurt. It's about proactively creating a future where you are surrounded by connections that uplift and support you. It's a journey of healing and empowerment, leading you to a place where you can truly thrive and enjoy the meaningful, positive relationships you deserve. When you've been betrayed by your family, one of the most important steps you can take is to establish and maintain clear boundaries. Boundaries aren't just about keeping others at a distance. They're about creating a space where you can protect your mental and emotional well-being. Setting boundaries allows you to reclaim your personal power and ensure that you're not constantly hurt or taken advantage of by those around you. The betrayal you've experienced often reveals that your previous boundaries were either non-existent or ineffective. Perhaps you were too accommodating, or maybe you didn't enforce limits when you should have. This is your chance to reevaluate what boundaries are necessary for your well-being. Recognize that boundaries are essential for maintaining your mental and emotional health. They help you protect yourself from further harm and ensure that your needs and feelings are respected. Establishing clear boundaries involves deciding what is acceptable and what isn't in your relationships. This might mean setting limits on how much time you spend with certain people, defining topics that are off limits for discussion, or deciding on how you will handle conflicts. For example, you might choose to only engage in conversations with family members that are respectful and constructive, or you might decide to take a break from relationships that are consistently negative. Once you've established your boundaries, it's important to communicate them clearly and assertively. This doesn't mean being confrontational or aggressive. It means being honest about your needs and expectations. For instance, You might say, I need some space right now to focus on my own well-being, so I won't be available for family gatherings for a while. Clear communication helps others understand where you stand and reduces the likelihood of misunderstandings or conflicts. It's common to encounter resistance when you set new boundaries, especially from those who are used to you being more accommodating. Some people might react with anger, guilt, or manipulation, trying to get you to back down. It's crucial to stay firm in your boundaries and not let others' reactions make you second-guess your decisions. Remember, boundaries are about protecting yourself, not pleasing others. Setting boundaries is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process. As you grow and change, your boundaries might need to be adjusted. It's important to regularly assess whether your boundaries are still effective and whether they need to be modified. This might involve having follow-up conversations with those around you or reevaluating your own needs and limits. What if setting boundaries is the key to rediscovering your personal power and achieving inner peace? By establishing clear limits, communicating them effectively, and handling resistance, you create a protective space that allows you to heal and thrive. Boundaries empower you to take control of your life and relationships, ensuring that you're surrounded by respect and support, rather than hurt and disappointment. Setting boundaries after a betrayal isn't about shutting yourself off from others. It's about creating a healthier, more balanced dynamic in your relationships. It's a way to safeguard your well-being and to foster connections that are positive and nurturing. Embrace the process of setting boundaries as a vital step toward reclaiming your power and finding the emotional and mental space you need to heal and grow.